This is
The Handbag Husband.
the Handbag Husband. Yay!
Yay.
So today we are here in a beautiful little piazza in central historic Firenze. And I think we're gonna do a video that we've been asked for a lot, not a few times, which is what is the origin of the Handbag Husband and how did we even start this whole process? And I think the best way to do that, and it's gonna be a series of videos that we're gonna do as we continue to reveal more and more of our bag collection. But the best way to do it is to talk about which bags we got in kind of chronological order. So, you know, the first bag that we got, which we're gonna talk about today, and then keep going through the different bags that we've gotten because I think we have changed, I think the experience has changed, I think that the quest has really changed as we've gotten more and more bags, as the collection grows, and as we get a lot more experience and a lot more spend. So today we're gonna talk about the first bag reveal from our collection that we ever got. Now, before we get to it, if you like these videos, if you like the Hermès conversation, if you like the Hermès milieu, and if you like the bag candy, and this is historic bag candy, basically, right? We've got bag candy from back in the day, don't forget to like and subscribe because it does really help the channel grow. And of course, we are so thankful for that.
Thank you.
Thank you, but also because it means you get notified when our newest long videos come out, when our newest short videos come out, and really all the things we have on the socials, on Instagram and YouTube, because we have new Hermès content coming out every single week. All right, so let's get down to our very first, the bag that started it all for us. All right, so let's talk about the very first quota bag we ever got. Do you remember when we got this bag?
2019, Tokyo, Japan.
It was an amazing surprise because, well, first of all, I guess what made us even go to the Tokyo boutique? Because it was in.
You dragged me in.
Well, yes.
I didn't.
Yes, okay.
I didn't want to go in because we were not dressed to par. Like it was.
Yeah, we were just like hobos.
You were wearing shorts. I was
Yeah.
wearing sneakers.
Because you were like, oh, everyone in Tokyo, or it's fine to wear shorts in Tokyo. It's not fine to wear shorts in Tokyo.
It was warm.
It's not okay.
It was in like, what was it, late May or something?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's super humid. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But how do we get to the point? Because it wasn't like, oh, this is my idea to take you into the Hermès boutique. I didn't really even know what Hermès
and it was.
was.
Like, it was like noon or something, and you were like, "Let's just go in." I was like, "I didn't want to go. I don't want to go. I want to go." And you were like, "Let's just go in."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think at that point, I really didn't understand really anything about Hermès. I knew that like it was something that you had shown interest in.
Sure.
And you would be like, look at this bag and look at this bag, and I was like, I don't. They all look like the same bags to me. So for me, it was more of just a very supportive role. But like, I'm excited to be here, but I don't know what the heck's going on.
Back in the day, it was like my knowledge of MS was just the Sex and the City.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, oh, the
Yeah.
wait list was like 4 years.
Yeah.
You know, this is according
Yeah.
to the Sex and the City,
Yeah.
right? So, and I was like, you know what? Like, it's kind of above my pay grade.
It was definitely above my pay grade.
So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm not even gonna like even pursue anything. So yeah.
Mhm. So we get to Tokyo. We are there. It was in fact your birthday, I believe.
Yeah,
right?
it was my birthday week. Yeah.
Your birthday.
It was.
And-
We got the bag 3 days before my birthday. Yeah.
And we ended up going to, what was the boutique? What's the boutique
The
name?
Ginza one.
The Ginza, yes, the Ginza boutique. We don't really have any footage at the time. We don't have any pictures.
We got like four or five, like,
yeah, very
random,
few, because we had not thought about it. We never thought about Hermès capades really at all because, well, we had never Hermès capaded.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we walk in, and then we start talking to the SA.
We went up to the second floor.
Yeah.
And
early on, even before we went, you're like, it's not gonna, doesn't matter. Let's just go in because when we go in,
You're
it's
not gonna get
it's not
it.
gonna matter. You're not gonna get anything.
Yeah, you're not gonna get anything,
These things
yeah.
are impossible to get,
Yeah.
according to Sex and the City and everybody else.
Yeah. Still
in reality.
still true to till today. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So we go in and we take a look around and we look at a couple different items.
You were looking for women's like a long wallet. I remember
Yes.
before you got your long wallet.
Yes.
I remember you were looking for a long wallet, and then
Like a pocket.
yeah,
like
the
a front
long
pocket.
yeah,
Yes.
and
And it
then
had a couple things I recall.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was in exotic or something.
Yes.
So after you say no to the exotic,
Yes.
and you're like, You were asking, do you have any Kelly?
Yeah.
It was.
It was not graceful. It was not
There was
tactful.
no foreplay.
There was no
There was
foreplay.
no
There was no
foreplay.
finesse. It was just like a hammer, like.
You just basically like. I remember that vividly because I
Yeah.
was like, what are you doing?
Like,
Like, what?
no, you ruined it.
No, it's not what you ruined.
Yeah.
It's almost like insulting. Like, why
Yeah.
you even ask for it? You know.
Yeah. How dare you?
You basically like, oh, you have any Kelly?
Yeah.
The lady didn't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Or she might say like a word or something, and then she went back
Yes.
to the room. I'm like,
We were
okay,
like looking at each other like,
what's going on?
is this good? Is
Like-
this bad?
like
I don't
what's-
know.
Like we didn't know anything. Like
Yeah.
like zero.
Yeah.
Our basically like knowledge
Yeah.
was just zero.
Yeah.
She came out with the big box.
Mhm.
Insert picture here. We have a box. We have
Yeah,
a box
yeah,
picture. Yeah.
yeah.
And then
Just the box though.
and
I
then,
think we
like,
wanted the bag too.
and then when she pulled out the bag, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
all right.
But I think I don't know if we had done research before or after,
No.
but we had seen that like Tokyo seemed at the time
Yes,
and even now
I did it after.
seems to be a little bit easier to get quota bags on a walk-in basis.
Easy or
Easier, not easy, but easier.
or
Yeah.
for sure, yeah. So that was it. I gave her the I gave her the passport.
Mhm.
We pay, and we just kind of walk out. Was it bright enough?
I think so. All right, so let's pause there.
Okay.
And let's talk about the actual bag, like what the SA offered us. And again, we were not savvy enough to be like, oh, let me get the SA's information and like maybe we can come back to Tokyo again or whatever.
We didn't even know like multiple sizes, like
Yeah.
hardware, colors,
Yeah.
letters.
Yeah.
The knowledge was zero.
But when we saw it, we're like, oh.
Oh yeah,
This
this
is-
pass.
this
This
is
is
what I'm
like
looking for.
this is yeah. The spec is
So what we ended up getting, or what we got offered and then ended up getting, and ended up being a very nice birthday gift
Yes.
to yourself from me, however that works.
sure.
I
I
asked.
guess.
I'm the one who asked.
Drum roll.
So what they ended, what she ended up revealing to us was something that it is, and shall be.
It's a Kelly. You can see.
Yes.
You can see there's
is
a Kelly.
spectacular. Is what I call affectionately Tokyo Kelly for obvious reasons.
Yeah, we call it Tokyo Kelly.
Tokyo Kelly. So it is a Kelly 35 in chocolate. Oh.
It's if you compare to our newest Birkin,
Uh-huh.
that one is a
Rousselier,
Rousselier. It's
yes.
very close, but this one has like obviously like more brown. Like
Yes.
that one is more
Yeah.
red. Like the Rousselier is
yeah.
more red.
It looks like if this one got a sunburn a little bit.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the gold hardware.
Yes.
And I mean, I think when we saw it, I guess what made you say yes to it, right? Because at the time, first, it was a huge cost, like an astronomical
was-
cost to us.
It was more of like a shock, I guess. I didn't think because we were not prepared. I didn't even think like. I remember talking to you. I was like, "Hey, maybe in 4 or 5 years I will get it."
Yeah.
I,
Like when things are going-
Do you remember? Yeah.
Yeah, if things get better
we,
or
we were
whatever,
talking.
yeah.
Oh, maybe in 4 or 5 years I'll step up my game and then
Yeah.
we'll start looking at MS.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more of the afterwards when we got back to hotel.
Yeah.
And it like kind of like everything kind of like sunk in, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, should we be spending this kind
There was
of money?
definitely- there was
I
definitely
almost
that-
cried.
yes,
I almost cried.
there was
Like
definitely that
I
question.
I feel bad. Like I shouldn't be spending this money.
Because especially at the time, it was more than we should have been spending on
correct, for
a
sure,
bag.
for sure. And then
For
back in
sure.
the day, yen was not this weak.
Yes, that's right.
So
That's right.
it's a normal, maybe was it like
Mm-hmm.
105? Right now it's 150 yen per dollar. So
Mm.
I felt like, okay, should we return it? And you're like, no, let's just,
Which has been my answer every single
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Which has been my answer every
because I
single
was
time.
considering like maybe we shouldn't do this. This is right after, because like the walk from the Ginza store to
Yeah.
the back to hotel was like 10 minutes max,
Yeah.
not even,
Yeah.
right? So after that, we kind of look at it as like, why we spending, like we shouldn't be spending
Yeah.
money. So it was stressful.
So why did you say yes though?
I don't know, because it's nice.
I mean,
I mean,
it's
at
very
the
nice.
store, it was like,
Yes.
you know, like, oh, like,
Also, right here, right now, it's
Yeah,
nice.
it's nice,
Yes.
yes. yeah, I don't know. I actually, because I guess you also said like, hey, it's okay. You
Yes.
almost kind of assuring it's like, hey, it's
Yeah,
okay.
we'll figure this out.
Yeah,
Same thing I've said with all the other bags we've gotten, even the exotics.
Sure.
And really, same thing I'll probably say, unless it's, I'm sure there's something I would say no to,
Sure.
but I haven't yet. I haven't yet. And then also, oh, sorry, the leather is it Togo?
I think so.
I think it's Togo. Again, it was so back in the day. I don't remember, and even if they had told us, I wouldn't have known.
Correct.
I wouldn't have known. They would have been speaking.
The lady didn't like the SA didn't tell us anything. It's like here's the bag. Like do
The
you
language
want it?
proficiency wasn't that great either.
Yeah.
So there was difficulty communicating
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
I think even hindsight now, how do you feel about this bag? Because it was the first one. It is the first
Home run.
one. 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is such a beautiful bag. And
It's a home run.
I think from my perspective, early on, being with you, and the reason why I didn't give you much pushback is because when I saw how it affected you and how it affects you now, right? I think
Sure.
that you're not a person who is easily like, swayed.
Sure.
But also you're not a person who's like easily like dazzled.
Sure.
Right? With the exception of the charm
Yours truly.
of the Handbag Husband. And so seeing you get kind of giddy about something really also made me excited. And I thought, you know what? These are rare occasions, and turns out they're also expensive occasions. And even if they get less rare, they keep getting more expensive. But I think that to have that experience with you and to see it as a shared experience and to have almost like a tangible memento of
yeah.
that time frame is what makes it most valuable to me, right? There's no monetary value in my mind necessarily on it, but the kind of working togetherness, the trip, the being able to get to a point where we could, maybe not at this point, but could even purchase them and not have it be a huge detriment to our lives. All that comes together is what really made me excited, and I think that's what I have sort of become addicted to as well on our Hermès capades, right? Yes, it's gotten more sophisticated because we understand the materials more. We have we've gained more spend and more time and more relationship, and all those things are great.
Sure.
And also the appreciation of the bags on my side has gotten much better, understanding the size, the ratios, the difference in the leathers and the materials, and how that affects everything in the aesthetics, and how also that affects you. So all those things mixed together is kind of intoxicating for me. It is kind of intoxicating for me, and this was the beginning of that. And looking back at it now, even though we don't really bust this one out that often, I think obviously you want to keep it in pristine condition.
Just more like I don't really use the options because it's for like, oh, it's my first bag.
Yes.
You know, so I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't want to. I don't know. I probably should be using it more, but yeah.
Maybe we should be
That's
using
why
it
I'm
all,
bringing. That's why I'm bringing
Yeah.
to this trip.
Yes.
It's like I'm forcing myself. Like, hey, I'm gonna bring you to
Yeah.
this trip. We're gonna make videos about it. I'm gonna start using. You know, like my Birkin right now, I'm
Yeah.
basically use it like super often.
Oh, that's
which
true.
is like
Yeah.
super useful. Kelly, it's a little bit of pain because it's even though this one also 35 as my 35 Birkin.
It definitely feels smaller than your Birkin.
I cannot like shove everything in
Yeah.
easily, so that's a little bit of
Yeah.
pain. But yeah,
But it's a little more elegant than the Birkin.
a
For
little
sure.
bit. Yeah, I mean, being the retourné, it's
That gives it a little bit of
Casual,
casualness
yeah,
to it,
sure.
but just like the design of it feels, in my opinion,
Sure.
so much more elegant. And
Sure.
I can see why people are moving to the Kelly side.
Sure. But
The
I mean,
Birkin's a
Birkin
good one.
has its own uses
yes,
for sure.
For sure.
Oh, and just FYI, during that trip, we didn't buy anything else. We went in,
yeah, we had no other spend
just no spend, the first time ever to the Hermès store. Didn't anywhere in the world, like, and didn't spend anything. Came out with a bag.
So I don't know. I don't know.
And then that was.
Yeah.
That's why I say it's a home run.
I mean, maybe it's also a home run for Hermès, right? They
Could
sucked
be.
us in, and here we
So
are.
if you remember,
Many bags
our
later.
Kelly, the exotic, it was also 35
Yeah.
in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
This one is also 35. So maybe
Oh.
Asian really don't like big bags, which is fine. Which is perfectly fine.
Maybe it is that our preferences fall within sort of the gaps.
The crack.
Yeah, or at least up to this point.
Correct,
the
correct,
cracks.
correct, yeah.
Because even here in Florence so far, we've seen a fair amount of 30 and 35 size quarter bags.
think so.
Even more Evelyns than I had initially thought. I know previously we had not seen
Because
them
you
in
don't like
Evelyns.
Evelyn's.
No, I'm saying
You
we
don't
didn't
like Evelyn.
see
That's
them
why.
that
That's why I'm like, oh, you know what? That's kind of okay, and then you start seeing it more. So I think that's the reason why.
I still don't like Evelyns, but that doesn't. I just noticed it as more. Of
If
a,
you own a horse, you was like, oh, you know what? I'm getting Evelyn.
okay, fine. I'll get the saddle too. Right. So anyways, final thoughts. Any regrets on it now? Do you think that those regrets you had early on are still there now?
I still kind of like feel that feeling.
Yeah. On this bag specifically?
Yes.
Oh.
It's not like right now feeling
Yeah.
bad about it, but I kind of like remember how it felt.
Yes.
Does it make sense?
Yes.
So like I still remember how it felt back then.
Yeah.
And
I
it's kind of like relive it when we did the Kelly
Yeah.
exotic. A little bit.
I mean, I think on my side of it, I feel less regret. I didn't feel regret the first time because I was like, oh, whatever, we'll figure out how to make this work, right?
I don't think it's a regret. It's just more like doubt.
Well,
over-
the things that I think about
Sure.
are one,
Sure.
this bag is way harder to get now than it was back then. Two, in pristine condition, it's also worth way more, right? So I don't know. Again, not financial advice. We're not financial people. We don't.
Do
we
not
don't-
take, guys.
yeah,
Do
no,
not take
do not,
our
do not.
financial advice. This is not financial
If
advice.
anything, this is bad advice. And we don't buy bags for the value of them. We don't see any other purpose other than having them and loving them and keeping them in our closet, safe and secure, and in pristine condition.
It's not gonna be pristine. It's already had like a ding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there is that side of it as well, to know that something you have, should push come to shove, has an increased value from where it started. So,
I guess, yeah.
yeah. Again,
Not
not a huge thing,
financial.
but
Not financial
yeah,
advice.
yeah.
Do not take it, guys. Do not take
all right, so there you go. So this is the bag
The
that
very
started
first,
all,
yes.
the genesis of our Hermès capades and of One Handbag Husband. And I don't know, I'd love to hear what you all think about our little story. And in fact, is it similar to your first experience? If you've had an opportunity to get a quota bag or even a
Because I have
non-quota
heard
bag.
like maybe like 20 years ago, it's like just walk in. It
Yeah.
should be. I
Yeah.
mean, obviously it's still difficult, but it's
Yeah.
not like today is difficult.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, today, there's the game. There's the whole game.
Yeah.
But I'd be curious to see if your experiences now, if you're just kind of getting into it, are similar to it. Or have you had experience where you got a quota bag just kind of offhanded by luck and now you're knee deep in the Hermès experience, right? Where we are as well. Because it is a bit of a thrill and an excitement and perhaps an addiction a little bit to do it. And you know, our hit and miss ratio is very, very high. We take way more swings than
Oh,
we
yeah.
actually hit.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, just sometimes the little something will keep it going for quite
But the funny
a long
story,
time.
the funny story for the bag number 2 is it's a 2 swing with 2 hits.
Well, so the funny
It's a 2 and 2.
The issue is it was a dilemma, and a pretty big dilemma, because you know they always say be careful what you wish for, but if you have to choose between the two that you wish for, that's where things get out of control. So we'll save that for the next bag reveal. We're gonna do a new one every month.
We're gonna
Right?
try.
Yeah, we're trying to do it once every
month,
a new
yeah.
bag every month.
Yeah.
And that should take us quite some time, to be honest with it, because we have a pretty healthy collection that's growing, hopefully even more so. But yeah, I'd love to hear what you all think about it and your experiences. And also, what do you think about the bag, right? I think this is a great version of Kelly that you don't see a lot. At least nowadays, you don't see a lot out there floating around. So that's our little story, our first bag experience and the beginning of a Handbag Husband, and definitely not the end. Now, of course, if you like these videos, if you like the Hermès conversation, if you like the Hermès milieu, and if you like the bag candy, don't forget to like and subscribe, because it does really help our channel grow, and we are so thankful for that.
Thank you.
Thank you, but also because it means you get notified when our newest long videos, our newest short videos, all of our bag reveals, and everything else we have coming out on the YouTube, on the Instagram, because we have new Hermès content coming out every single week. So from a beautiful, quiet, serene piazza here in Firenze, ciao.